New here, quick rundown. This channel is about working smarter with both AI and tech. I test things, break them down simply, and tell you straight what's worth it and what's not. No hype, just useful.
All right, so here's a situation I think a lot of people have been in. You need to research something. Could be for work, could be for school, could be just because you're curious. So you open Google, you type your question, and what do you get? 10 blue links, a bunch of ads, some Reddit threads from 2019, and now you have to click through 5 different pages, read through a bunch of irrelevant stuff, and then piece together the actual answer yourself. Today, I'm doing a full walkthrough. What it is, how it works, who it's for, and whether the paid plan is actually worth it. No hype, just the honest take. Let's go. So we're on Perplexity AI, and the first thing you notice is how clean this homepage is. There's basically nothing on it except a search bar, no cluttered news feed, no distracting widgets, no ads, just a box that says, ask anything. That simplicity is intentional and honestly refreshing compared to what most search tools look like right now. Up in the top navigation, you've got a few sections worth knowing about. Discover, that's a curated feed of trending topics and summaries, kind of like a news digest, but written by AI from multiple sources. Then there's finance, health, education, and patents. These are focused search modes that point Perplexity towards specific types of sources depending on what you need. So if you're researching a medical question, you can switch to health mode and it'll pull from medical literature rather than random blog posts. If you're doing academic research, education mode pulls from scholarly sources. That context switching is actually really useful. It's not just one generic search for everything. On the right side of the interface when you're logged in, you'll see spaces, which are basically saved research threads you can organize and come back to. Think of it like folders for your research sessions. And then there's something called computer, which is marked as new, and we'll get into that in the advanced section because it's a whole different thing. Overall vibe of the platform, minimal, fast, and focused. It doesn't try to be everything. It tries to be really good at one thing, giving you accurate, sourced answers quickly. Okay, so let's talk about what actually makes Perplexity different from just Googling something. The core feature is what they call pro search. When you ask a question, Perplexity doesn't just pull a snippet from one page, it actually reads multiple sources, synthesizes the information, and gives you a structured answer with numbered citations you can click to verify. Every claim is traceable back to a real source. So for example, say you want to understand the current state of battery technology in electric vehicles. You type the question, and within seconds you get a multi-paragraph response that covers the main points, pulls from recent articles, academic papers, and industry reports, and gives you footnotes for everything. That would take you 30 minutes to do manually on Google. Here it's done in about 10 seconds. Now, the focus modes. This is something a lot of people don't use enough. When you ask a question, you can tell Perplexity where to look. Options include web, academic, writing, math, video, and social. So if you're a student writing a paper and you need peer-reviewed sources, academic focus. If you want to find what people are actually saying on Reddit or Twitter about a topic, social focus. If you need calculations, math mode. It's a small thing, but it makes the results significantly more relevant. Then there's file upload and document analysis. On the Pro plan, you can upload PDFs, images, audio files, even video, up to 40 megabytes per file, and ask questions about them. So you could upload a 50-page research report and ask, what are the 3 main conclusions? And get a clean summary with citations pointing to the specific pages. That's genuinely useful for anyone who has to read a lot of dense documents. And then, model. Let's walk through actually getting started, because this one is genuinely simple. Go to Perplexity.ai. You don't even need to create an account to start using it. Just type your question in the search bar and hit enter. That's it. You'll get a sourced answer immediately. To create a free account, click sign up in the top right. You can sign up with Google, Apple, or email. Takes about 30 seconds. Once you're in, you get access to spaces, saved threads, and the Discover feed. For your first search, try something practical, something you'd actually Google. Maybe something like, what's the difference between RAM and storage on a laptop, and how much do I need for video editing? Watch how it formats the answer. Clear sections, bullet points where appropriate, and numbered citations at the bottom. Then try a follow-up question in the same thread. That's where Perplexity really shines. It remembers the context of your conversation, so you can ask, what about for 4K video? And it builds on the previous answer instead of starting from scratch. Try switching focus modes. Click the focus selector before your search. Switch it to academic and search for something like latest research on intermittent fasting. Notice how the sources shift toward journals and research papers instead of blog posts. And one honest note, note, the free plan gives you about 5 pro searches per day. The free plan's 5 pro searches per day is a real constraint. Once you've used them, the standard model feels noticeably less capable by comparison. So for light use, it's fine, but if you're doing regular research, you'll hit that ceiling pretty quickly. For the people who want to go deeper, here's what's on the Pro and Max tiers. Pro plan, $20 per month, or $200 per year, which works out to about $16.67 a month. This unlocks unlimited file uploads up to 40 megabytes per file, supporting PDFs, images, audio and video, API credits for developer experimentation, priority support, and advanced image generation. For anyone doing regular research, journalist, student, analyst, content creator, this is the tier that makes it a proper daily tool. Tech Jacks Solutions. There's also an Education Pro plan at $10 per month for verified students and educators. Everything in Pro Plus study mode features, which is the cheapest route to the advanced models if you qualify. Easel AI Max plan, $200 per month. This gives higher limits on advanced model access, more daily pro searches, higher upload limits for document analysis, and priority support. It's designed for heavy power users who find Pro's limits constraining. Honestly, for most people, this is overkill. Pro covers the vast majority of real-world use cases. Tech Sifted Now, Computer. This is Perplexity's newest feature, and it's worth explaining because it's different from the search side of things. Computer is essentially an AI agent that can take on longer, more complex tasks and deliver actual deliverables, documents, dashboards, web applications, spreadsheets, not just answers. The Max tier unlocks unlimited labs usage, create dashboards, spreadsheets, presentations, and web applications without limits. It's early, but the direction is clear. Perplexity is moving from being just a search tool toward being a full research and productivity platform. Fiend out, and for developers, there's the Sonar API, which lets you build Perplexity's search and answer capabilities into your own apps. There's also a deep research API for more complex multi-step research queries. If you're building anything that requires real-time sourced information retrieval, it's worth looking at. Enterprise, $40 per user per month with data isolation, SOC2, Type 2 compliance, audit logs, and admin controls. For teams that need to share research securely without data going into training pipelines, this is the tier that handles it properly. So who is Perplexity actually for? Honestly, it's one of the more broadly useful AI tools I've reviewed because the use case is so universal. Everyone searches for things. Everyone has at some point wasted 20 minutes clicking through bad Google results to find a simple answer. Perplexity fixes that problem pretty directly. Where it really earns its place is for anyone who does research as a regular part of their work. Journalists, students, analysts, writers, consultants, marketers, anyone who needs accurate, cited information quickly. The combination of sourced answers, focus modes, and document analysis covers a lot of professional research workflows in a single tool. Where it's not the right fit, if what you need is creative writing, brainstorming, or coding assistance, there are better tools for that. Perplexity is purpose-built for research and information retrieval. It's not trying to be a general-purpose AI assistant, and that focus is actually one of its strengths. Alright, that's Perplexity AI. Real-time sourced answers, focus modes for targeted research, file uploads and document analysis, multi-model switching, and a free plan that actually works for everyday use. The link to try it is in the description below. No account needed to get started. Now here's what I want to know. What's the one type of research or question you spend the most time on? And do you think a tool like Perplexity would actually change how you approach it? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'm building future videos around what people actually want to know. If this was useful, like, subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.